Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Mama Jojo Raw and Real. And today, if you've been following me, I always talk about my weight loss journey, my fasting methods, what I'm doing with my fasting, how I'm losing weight, my health. I talk about budgeting, financing, and world cultures. And right now, as I'm doing this video, I'm on a 7-day water fast journey, and I may go for 29 days. I don't know. It just depends on how my body feels and the number of travel. Because if you don't know, I travel every weekend to work on different projects. So especially my world culture projects, I travel for that a lot. So like I'm gone every weekend for the most part. I'm gone. So that's why I try to fast to maintain my weight and maintain my journey, because when you're traveling a lot, there are not too many healthy choices along the way. So this is one way I just kind of decide to keep on going with my health journey. So today's video is going to be a little different, and I thought that I share this to help someone out there who may be in my situation or who is being ripped off by insurance companies. And I won the victory because of my persistence and going and fighting. And sometimes you have to fight. So this is what happened. Back in April of 2017, April 10th, I was going to pick up my daughter from aftercare, and I was on the beltway, like other states call it highway, call it freeway, and this lady hit me from the back, and she tried to escape. And when she tried to escape, I called the police. I was angry. I called the police. I called the ambulance. They wrote up the report. She admitted she hit me from the back. Eyewitnesses came and said that she hit me from the back. And her insurance, Nationwide Insurance, settled me for my pain and suffering. And they fixed my car. They gave me a check and I fixed my car. And I thought, well, since she hit me from the back, there was no need for me to contact my insurance Liberty at the time, because her insurance was Nationwide. The police report said that she hit me from the back, and I have eyewitnesses and everything, and she admitted. So, and her insurance company has settled me, and they have settled me, and they fixed my car. So I had nothing to lose. I thought I had nothing to lose. And then what I do is, every year, and this is something I want to encourage you to do, because as I said, I'm going to start my budget series in March. But one of the things that I do is I listen to His and Her Money. There's a very good black couple, and they do financial. They are debt free. Their home is paid for. They have no debt, and her husband just quit his job, so they're living well, and they are black couples, and they have no debt at all. The only debt they have, the only bills they have will be like their food, their car insurance, and their taxes. That's how they build their life. They paid off their home. So I followed them for a couple of years, and then something they said was like, every year look at all your bills and call like all of the different companies that you do business with and ask to see if you can get a discount on your bill or a reduced fee or something. So like when I listened to one of the videos and it said that, so what I did was, back in 2018 January, I called around to shop for insurance. My insurance went up from like 140 something, because I have full coverage. It was a brand new car. I buy my car brand new, and I always keep full coverage on my car because I have a child. And number two, I just like the comfort of having things full coverage. So if something goes wrong, I know I'm covered, right? So that was my case. So what happened was, when I tried to get insurance, in fact, my insurance wrote me and said $175. My insurance jumped from $125 to $175, $50. And I'm like, but what's going on? And then I kept going, searching for insurance for my car, and it would say 154 and 155. And then finally someone was able to tell me, oh, you had an accident, you were at fault. I said, me at fault? I said, no. I said, I have the police report. Nationwide had the letter, send the letter to the insurance company, and the insurance company were like, oh, but you're not at fault. But why is it on your record? And the mistake that I made was, Like they will quote me $150, right? And then when they found out I was not at fault, they would not change my insurance premium. In fact, they will leave it the same. And I was not paying keen attention to it. And I'm like, okay, you know what, let me just pay it. That's full coverage. My child life is more important. I'd rather have the full coverage. But I didn't know what was going on. So every year I would traveler insurance. In fact, they gave me a rate of 150. Before you know it, they went and bumped it up to 185, and I had to fight that. So as God could have it, December of 2019, as usual, what I do is all of the people, like my cable, I don't watch TV, but I have internet, like the lights, internet lights, my insurance that I have AAA, I have like a home insurance, I have rental insurance, I have my car insurance, all the things that I have insurance on. I'll call them and say, okay, I've been with you guys for XY number of years, and I can take my business. This other company is offering me this. So what are you going to do? Are you going to match it, or you want me to take my business somewhere else? And it'll be like, oh, you know what, we'll match it. So I called this day, and I went online and I put in for new insurance premium for my car and for my apartment and in my home. And then I said, and then when I put in all my information, and they asked, have you been at fault for accident? I said no. I said I did have an accident, but I was not at fault. So you know how you fill the information on the computer? I filled everything up, and my premium came back as $122 a month for full coverage, which is good because my car is a 2015. My car is almost 5 years old. I don't have a car payment, but I still felt that it was wise for me to have the full coverage just in case if something happens and my insurance will have to replace my car, and then I can take that money and all of the other monies that I have, I can pay for another car cash, so that I don't have car payment. That's the goal. That was my goal. So Nationwide quoted me $122. I said, wow, this is incredible. So I've been paying $155, $160 all along. Now this company is quoting me $122. So this is a good thing. This is a blessing. So the Nationwide agent, the Progressive agent, called me and said, okay, I'm ready to set up the premium. Do you have your checking account and routing number? I said, sure. He said, oh, Miss Jojo, before I do that, let me get your driver's license. Yo, he got my driver's license, and as soon as he put my number in, my driver's license number in, my insurance went from $122 to $165. And he said, but Miss Jojo, I thought you told me that you didn't have an accident. You have an accident that you had here on April 10th, and you were at fault. I said, me at fault? I said, but I have the police report, and Nationwide sent me a letter that I'm not at fault. He said, look, ma'am, what you need to do, you need to do XYZ. So he said, this is the number. Call this number. It's called LexisNexis, and I'm going to give it to you. It's spelled LexisNexis, and I'm going to put it up to the camera so you can see. It's LexisNexis. He said, call them and dispute it. He said, because if you have a police report and you have all of your information that you are not at fault, he said, did you call your insurance? I said, no, I didn't call my insurance because the police report, she hit me from the back. And if someone hits you from the back in this country, you know you are not at fault. Then she said, well, however, even though she hit you from the back, her insurance company is reporting that you are at fault. You were the vehicle operator and you hit her from the back. I said, you said what? He said, that's what I'm seeing here. So he said, call this number and file a complaint. I said, okay. So he gave me this number, and I called. The number that I call is called LexisNexis. So he said, what you do, you're going to go on a website. You're going to call the number and leave all your information. They will ask for your social security number Do not leave your social security number. They asked me for my social security number. I said nope, I didn't trust them. So I only gave them my driver's license number. So please don't make the mistake, because they have identity thieves around here. There are some people full-time job. They have so many jobs in America for healthy people to do. Some people will choose not to work, but their main job is to do identity theft, fraud, and steal from people. So please learn this. When you call, if you have this problem and you call LexisNexis, they will ask you for your name, your address, your information, and they will ask for your social security number. Do not leave your social security number. Just give them your driver's license number. Please take note. So I called online, and then he gave me a number to call. So this is the number that he gave me to call. It's LexisNexis. It's in Atlanta. So the number that he gave me to call is 1-888-497-0017. So I called the number, and they gave me their website information, LexisNexis. I show you the heading here. And I called that number, and I left all my information. 1 week later, they replied me and told me they got my information to call them. So when I called them, and I told them exactly what has happened, and they said, when they pulled my record up, and they will give you a consumer number, and they'll give you a case number. So as you can see, this is my consumer number. Let me put this up in here. So that's my consumer number and my case number. So they gave me my consumer number, my case number, and I said, look, and I explained everything that I explained. And then I said, I have a letter from Nationwide stating that I'm not at fault. And they said, but you know what? Nationwide is reporting that you are at fault. I said, you said what? So I let them do their investigation. And what I did was I called the Maryland Insurance Administration. So whatever state you are in, you want to file a formal complaint with the state insurance agency in your state. So like, since I'm in Maryland, I called the Maryland Insurance Administration, and they told me what to do. So you go online, you put your policy number. Let's say if you are not at fault, because if you got that letter, you put the policy number, you put the insurance agent name, you put the 1-800 number, you write a brief description of your case, and you will file it. And then I think when I filed my case, like 5 days later, I got a letter in the mail that they were investigating my case. So while LexisNexis was investigating, I filed with the Maryland Insurance Administration. And then I called back and I said, I'm filing, and the next step I'm going to do, I'm going to get a lawsuit, because from January of 2018, since I changed insurance from Liberty to Travelers, they've been charging me extra. So after this case is settled, I'm going to file a lawsuit to recoup the difference in the loss and the damages and the pain and suffering. So, and she told me, she said, okay, we're going to do our investigation. We'll go from there. So, and I called LexisNexis. I sent them all of the documents that Nationwide was sending me. And here is the thing about what Nationwide did to me. Nationwide sent me a letter that I was not at fault, right? And their insurer was at fault. But Nationwide, because what it is LexisNexis is like it's just like how you have, it's like a central repository where all the records, if the accident records, if you have an accident, this is where like the insurance company go. Just, it's similar to where, for example, when you have a credit bureau, right? Say for example, like when they have three credit bureaus, they have TransUnion, they have Equifax, and they have the other, I've forgotten the other one. So like if you went for a credit, right, they run your credit, they put your social security number, and it runs on the credit bureau, and then it brings back your credit score. So based on your credit score, they can either deny you or they can give you the credit that you want. So similarly, the insurance companies have a central database. So every accident that occurs in America, that accident is reported to that central database. So if you are looking for insurance and you have had an accident, and the insurance agents will go to that central like warehouse, and they will pull your driver's license in there. And then if you had an accident and you are not at fault, they will let you know. If you had an accident and you are at fault, so based on what they get from that database, that's how they will charge you your premium. But what was happening to me was, I had a letter from Nationwide that I was not at fault, but Nationwide turned around and was reporting to LexisNexis, the insurance warehousing company, that I was at fault. So you see the double standards? So after I sent all the information, I filed everything, and then the lady from the Maryland administration called me and said, Miss Joanna, we did our investigation, and Nationwide has sent us a letter that everything is going to be removed from your driving record and your driving history. And then if you want to call back to Progressive, call them. And if something shows up, call me back. I said, okay. So that's what the Maryland Insurance Administration told me. So I wrote her name down. I wrote her number down. I said, can I call you on this number? She said, yes. I wrote the date and time and everything, because I'm a very meticulous person when it comes with dealing with handling my business. And then I waited. So today, I got a letter from LexisNexis, the insurance warehousing company, and I'm going to read it briefly what it says. It says, this is the letter, what it says. It just talks about insurance reporting and everything. And it said that results of reinvestigation. Thank you for your recent correspondence to LexisNexis Risk Solution. LexisNexis completed its reinvestigation and reports its findings below. Please be advised that you may receive additional communications if you disputed other items in your LexisNexis file. Your case, we have deleted information from your records based on your dispute. So what it is Nationwide Insurance was reporting to LexisNexis, where all of the insurance company goes to get your records when you have the criminal database, like if they're doing a background check. So that's the insurance company database. So they have deleted that I was at fault from the database. So I have this here now, right? So I have this here. So what it is I'm going to go back to Progressive Insurance to get full coverage on my car. And the insurance rate that they quoted me at the time was $122. If they quote me a higher rate like $165 when this was on my record, I'm going to call the insurance administration again, because she promised me that if I call and I get a higher rate, I should call them and she will call for me. So I just thought to share this, because you will be, and that's how a lot of us lose money, and we don't follow up on these things, because I was here thinking that, oh, this lady hit me from the back. I have my police report. Her insurance settled me for my pain and suffering. They fixed my car. I got evidence of all of that. But the same insurance company turned around and reported to me that I was at fault. So what they did, they retaliated against me on behalf of their client. So now that I have removed everything from my records, now the next step again, tomorrow, I'm not working. I'm going to go down to the courthouse and I'm going to file a lawsuit. So what it is because Progressive gave me insider information as to why my insurance was being high, and I have all of that information now. So from 2018, I'm going to ask for a refund for the difference of the insurance premium that I should be paying, and then I will rest my case. If that does not happen, I'm going to go to the news media so I can alert the consumers. I can alert America, because these are where so many people are losing money this way. So many people are struggling to pay the insurance. The insurance premium. It could be because of things like these. So, and even if the insurance company tells you are not at fault and they send you a letter, this insurance is all a business. They will still try to charge you hard. So my advice to you, if you find yourself in my shoes or in my situation, even though my case is different, I just have to file that lawsuit. What you need to do is go online and get a quote without putting your driver's license in, right? When you get a quote without putting your driver's license in, keep that quote, right? And then when you give them your driver's license and your driver's license, because if there is a wrongful at fault on your record, it will show. If your insurance skyrocket, trust me, call these people and fight and call the insurance administration in your area. Call LexisNexis and take care of this problem. So I'm going to put that number, give you that number one more time. LexisNexis phone number is 1-888-497-0011. And the hours of operations are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. I'm reading Eastern time. And then I have an email address here. The email address is consumer.documents@lexisnexis.com. And so now I'm going to call Progressive and I'm going to see what my insurance is going to be. And their address is, their mailing address is LexisNexis Consumer Center, P.O. Box 105108, Atlanta, Georgia 30348. I'll repeat that. LexisNexis, LexisNexis Consumer Center, P.O. Box 105108, Atlanta, Georgia 30348. So this is how you go about disputing. This is how I went about disputing all of the faults at fault records on my driving record. So that's cleared. Tomorrow morning I'm going to call Progressive and then get right back on track. So if this video is helpful to you, or you know someone who's in my similar situation that was not at fault, and because some insurance company is trying to rip them off or retaliate against them and reporting to LexisNexis that they are at fault, please share this information. Please share the steps that I took, and so that another person does not lose any other money. Because you know what, we work too hard for our money in America. So when you work hard for your money, you should not let anybody. We have to be very proactive with checking our insurance, checking our bank statements, checking all of the different agreements that we have, reading the fine prints. If you don't know, if you don't understand it, you can go to a free lawyer, a pro bono lawyer, or go to your local university that has a law school. They have free pro bono lawyers, and ask for interpretation to protect yourself. Because at the end of the day, from January 2018, I was paying an extra 30 or 40 bucks. So I was paying I pay $960 for 2 years, just because of an error that was a mistake. According to Nationwide, it was a mistake, but I don't consider it a mistake, because there is no way the police report and everything will be there, and then you will go and report it to the LexisNexis that I'm at fault. So these are little tips that I wanted to share with you. And please, if you know someone in my situation or who has been ripped off, and please, if you have insurance and you're paying, like I was paying like $150, right, $155, but then I went down because of this situation. I had to get liability until I settle this to get full coverage. So call your insurance company, shop around. Shop around for deals so you can save money. That's another money saving method. So I just want to thank you for listening to me, and I hope this video was helpful. And please share, and if you like my channel, please subscribe to my channel, Mama Jojo Roy and Rhea. I love you. Bye bye.